Hey everyone, welcome to Enter the PC. So you might be interested in an EK A240R for your Ryzen or Vega system. Well, I'm going to talk about it today, and I have some benchmarks to go with it. I try this out, it's my personal setup, and I'm going to tell you what I found out and what really helped me along the way to get this thing finally installed, because it is a doozy. Stay tuned. Alright, so first off with the benchmarks, I'm running through a few games here. Doom is the first one, new classic, great game, and I was getting a steady 144 frames per second generally with this. Sometimes it would go from 120 plus. You don't even notice any of that stuff when you're playing though. It's so much fun, so smooth. This is a great game with Vulkan engine that works really well with AMD Vega cards. Some of the other games that run like DirectX, which is Windows based, will probably run better on NVIDIA hardware in general. But with Vulkan, you really see some nice advantages. So here's some gameplay footage that I took in this game. So most all of these games were running in ultra settings and at 2580 or 60 by 140 by 1440p resolution. So that is a 1440p resolution that they're running, as you can see here. 2560, yeah. And it has anti-aliasing on 8x and all the settings at ultra. So you can really see the detail on this using this Vega card. It was quiet, it was smooth. I really like playing way more with this cooler. The stock MSI Air Boost is a loud card. It is so loud. It's a great card, but it really gets loud once you get up to past 3,500 RPM. I mean, even 3,000 RPM. It's loud, and you'll hear it. And it kind of is annoying. Even if you have big headphones on, you still hear it, and it bothers you. So I'm really happy to switch for that reason alone. Just how quiet this card is, even when all the fans are blasting, it's so quiet. Alright, so this next game is a personal favorite. It's Grand Theft Auto 5. It's been out for a number of years now, but it's still a great game that really taxes a lot of systems. So this game was getting about 68 frames per second average. That's running at 1440p resolution on Ultra. Everything was high, high settings, Ultra settings on this game, and it also had 2560 by 1440p resolution at 144 hertz. So that's a lot of frames to be going and locked in. FreeSync is on, a lot of settings happening, a lot of stuff going. This is an entire virtual world. This is a really taxing game, and I was very impressed by the Vega graphics card and the cooler. A little later I'm going to show you some benchmarks that I actually have for this game compared to the stock settings and the a Thermaltake AIO, which is just like a normal AIO cooler that I did another video for that I actually don't recommend you buy. Watch that video. But yeah, again, great game, fun game, and was really impressed with the results I was getting with the Vega. It ran smooth, it looked great, and was just a joy to play, really. So I have some footage from a few other games. This is Wolfenstein II, a newer title, and it looks fantastic. I was very pleased with it, getting excellent frame rates on this as well. Just so much fun to play. The settings are pretty much, I think, ultra or max on this, and it looks great. It's a fun game to play, so I really enjoyed it. And again, this combo card and cooler did not have a problem playing it. It was just really fun, really fun. This next game is Battlefront and Star Wars Battlefront, not the Battlefront 2. This is a very fun game from Origin, and it's an online game that does tax the system, I would say, but all the settings are at ultra. Again, we're at 2560 by 1440p resolution, and it looks great, it plays great. Next we have Counter-Strike CSGO, consistently getting above 200 frames per second, and then with the 144 refresh rate on, if you have a monitor that does 144, that's the way to go. I think that this might be at 1080p because this game's a little more important to get absolute maximum frames. I could play it at 1440p, but I chose lower. Alright, next we have Cinebench CPU scores. You can see here versus stock that the AIO cooler, which is a thermal take, pretty standard AIO, performed very well. It was 13.76% above stock, and then the A240 was 15.19% above stock. And whenever you're doing cooling past an AIO, which is already a great cooler, you're just looking for any performance gain you can get, and that's really great to see from this A240 after the standard AIO. Alright, next we have Cinebench OpenGL. We have a big gain here from stock at 14.91% gain. These are real world tests, okay? These are what really work in the real world from when you're playing games, more than 10 minutes at a time most people do. This is hours at a time of gaming, so I know they work, and it's always just great to see that big frame rate improvement there. Alright, next we have a Firestrike test, and you can see here nice improvement using the standard AIO, the Thermaltake 240, and then you get an even bigger improvement when you go to the A240R. So what we're looking at is a 7.54% improvement from stock using the AIO standard, and then 10.34% improvement from stock using the A240. Again, great to see. You know, in the real world, Firestrike is a great benchmarking tool that a lot of people use, so this is nice to see. Okay, now we have GTA 5 frame rate per second. This is a stock MSI versus the A240. Now the stock MSI is a great cooler. It's really loud, like I said, versus the A240 is quiet, which I really like and appreciate. These are ultra settings, 2590 by 440p. That's 144 hertz frame rate. And what we're seeing here in the frames per second is a gain of 28.66% over stock, which is fantastic. It has the minimum maximum there. Again, you can see great gains, hitting almost 70 frames per second in some cases. Fantastic on that. Alright, last but not least are the temps for the CPU and GPU. Lower is better in this chart. You can see, holy moly, that the A240R performed really well. From the AIO cooler on the GPU, it's 12% increase over stock, and for the A240, 22.27% increase over stock. And if you look at the graphics GPU, that's 27% increase over stock temps. And again, the AIO does not cool the graphics card, so that's still going to be stock levels, and this is just fantastic. Lower temps equals better performance, so this is exactly what you want to see, and it's quieter, so it's a win. Great card, very happy with it. I highly recommend it, and hopefully you learned something from this. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Again, thanks so much for watching.